Hello again. Nice weekend here, cold but clear and brisk. Today is I hear from my friend Hani, who of course is very knowledgeable in all such things, that it's International Merlot Day. What do you know? And yesterday was our international night here at the kids' former school, where I contributed some Lebanese wine to help people appreciate that. So, Merlot, Lebanese, what's a man to do? You guessed it. Try to find a Lebanese Merlot, which is not that easy. There's no such thing as 100% Merlot that I know of. But fell back on a true favorite, Chateau Bellevue, the Renaissance. This is a 2009. That is actually 60% Merlot. We had discussed before how it's a Bordeaux blend, but this is really more of a right bank sort of, because it's primarily Merlot, but there's no Cabernet Franc. It's 60% Merlot, 40% Cabernet Sauvignon. So to me, you know what, close enough. And why not another way to enjoy what Merlot can do in different parts of the world. And also, just as another tidbit, this is a bottle I was able to buy locally. So again, we had discussed how sometimes these wines are hard to find. This I was able to get from one of my favorite wine stores in the area, less than a 15-minute drive. And so I kind of like that notion as well. 2009 was a good year. It's coming into its prime. So let's see what we have here. The one we had before was a 2007. The color, as we discussed before, is very thick. I know that's a kind of funny concept, but it's dense, it's dark, it's opaque. It's really more of a Bordeaux color. The alcohol is just incredible. It coats the glass. Even it seems to sort of stain the glass. In the color, there's always a remnant of color as you go down the sides. And it's 14.5% alcohol, but I don't know, maybe it's a little bit understated. These wines are alcoholic, as we discussed, because of where they are. This is, as we said, it's a high altitude wine. We're talking anywhere between 11 and 1,300 meters. The vines are planted depending on whether you're looking at the Cabernet Sauvignon or the Merlot or the Syrah. So it's a very high altitude wine, Mediterranean climate, dry farmed. On the nose, what I've always loved about this wine is the bouquet. It's just so, fresh but deep and really addictive. It's just kind of it's really nicely blended. You don't get say, I get the this or that. You get the whole thing all together as one unique, harmonious experience. You got the fruit, you got a little bit of that spiciness. Maybe it's the Merlot. We've discussed that before. You get the alcohol that sort of opens the way in your sinuses for the rest. You get a little bit of licorice, and you get this. It's an overall, pleasant sensation. Not to be too trite. And so you just keep going for more. But now there's also the fruit, the cherry, the black fruit, the blackberries that are very Lebanese. And you can start separating the thing, but why bother? Just enjoy it for what it is. Let's taste it. Still very tannic. I opened this today, so this is gonna take some time, but it's perfect. I mean, not perfect in that way, but it's really good. You've got the attack. Overall, though, what you get right now is still primarily the tannins that are sort of everywhere. Now, the finish is there, the attack is there, the mouthful is there, but then you have to sort of let it settle down a little bit and see what you get beyond that. You definitely now have more of the spiciness of the Merlot, the red fruit, a little bit of that dark chocolate bitterness that I keep coming back to. It's not a super dry wine, although I know some people call it that way. It isn't. I don't get any powdery notion in it. It's really very, I was going to say liquid. It's kind of silly, but it really works. It just goes, it's just the right amount of viscosity versus dryness. It's really, goes really smoothly through the system. The tannins are fine. It is tannic. I think it could use a decant, and then it will get different. Tomorrow it will be more open. It will have different flavors in it, but it's just such an enjoyable wine to think about, to enjoy on a day like today, and to also savor the bouquet of, which never fails to sort of seduce and put a smile on your face. Anyway, International Merlot Day, so hopefully you guys are doing the same thing somewhere. See you soon.